Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of my lecturers and examiners. My name is Nur Nasrin binti Ismail from Natural Science Resources Program at University Malaysia Kelantan. My matrix numbers is E24, A34, E24, A34, A2. And today I am pleased to present my research proposal, which is the title is Species Composition and Diversity of White Plants in Kampung Jelawang Dabun Kelantan Forestry Area using systematic sampling method. Okay, to begin, let's look at the foundation of this study first, starting with the background and the problem statement. So, in the context of natural resources, we are currently facing a critical gap, specifically regarding to a marked absence of recent location-specific information about the white plant of the Kampung Jelawang. So the rapidly evolving environmental landscape, along with possible human activities such as ecotourism and land use conversion in the nearby Dabung regions, that I confidently say that risk changing the botanical makeup of the area before it can be systematically catalogued. So this study aims to address this exact issue. Okay, driven by the problem statement I see, so the objectives and scope of my research are finely tuned to outline a clear boundaries. Specifically, this study aims to characterize all the native plants that grow within the forestry zone of Kampung Jelawang and to determine the composition of the species along with calculating their diversity indices. So we're using such as Shannon-Weiner and Simpson. So in terms of significance and study area, this research is vital because it contributes directly to provide detailed information on the flora that is found in the peculiar geology of the Stone Range, which is overall. This project may increase appreciation of the natural legacy of Kampung Jelawang. So the physical fieldwork and data gathering will take place primarily at Kampung Jelawang, Dabung, Kelantan. Okay, moving on to the literature review, a critical review of existing knowledge was conducted by synthesizing key academic resources that I was able to address the primary research question and justify why this project is necessary. So, for instance, past studies heavily emphasize tropical rainforests are famous for their elevated alpha diversity. So, which means richness in terms of the number of species found in a specific local community. So, from theoretical perspective in ecology, the species composition of any region will be subject to deterministic and stochastic factors, including, for example, the nutrient content of the soil and topography respectively. So I believe in Peninsular Malaysia, the species composition of the wild flora has been shown to vary tremendously depending on the altitude gradient. It has been noted that lowland pterocarp forests will charge to hill forests, with the dominant families remaining the same but augmented by pioneer species, so which serve as the baseline from developing my own research framework, I guess. So now let's dive into the core execution of the project, which is the materials and methodology. I have broken this down into three main phases. which is first is material and sampling design. So I use a lot of tools for materials, for such as for me it's important for me to have measuring tape, so I can accurate the definitely plot of my place to make a sample design. So yeah. So the target population for this study is defined as, I don't know the target because I don't actually know what's in the Kampung Jelawang forest, what's the plants that have in there. That's why I want to make this research. So maybe I would like to see what should I say it as I want to see a rare, a unique wild plants that have in the Kampung Jelawang forest. That's why I want to do this research. So from which selected sample will be systematically collected using a Ziploc. Once I collected the plants, I will keep it in the Ziploc bag, and then I will bring it to the lab of UMK to make a research, to make found what was in there, what was the plant is. Yeah. So next is sampling site and data collection. So like I said, fieldwork will be carried out at our designated sites using precise mapping and data logging tools to ensure high accuracy. So the last one is data analysis. So once the data collected, the plants I collected, the raw data will be processed and analyzed using maybe a Google, or maybe as plants that some apps. I don't remember the name, but I will search the data based on the apps. Yeah. And to extract meaningful patterns and correlations. So, to give you a visual overview of the operational workflow, the study follows a sequential research flowchart, which is representing a steady stream of progress, it begins with problem identification and an extensive literature review. So this moves smoothly into designing the experiments via research design and executing the laboratory or fieldwork during the data collection. And finally, it will conclude with rigorous data analysis and interpretation of the results and a drawing final conclusion of the data. So, based on the rigorous methodology and previous literature, the expected results anticipate that a high correlation between white plants and other data that I found, or maybe an efficient mapping model for the area. So these findings will hopefully contribute valuable insights to the field of natural resource science. So the framework is supported by credible references as listed at the bottom right of the poster. With that, I guess I will conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for your time, and I am now open to you any feedback that you may have. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.